Hi, welcome back to my channel. So this video is all about what to expect both physically and mentally when you fully go vegan, when you go 100% plant-based. Now I'm 44 and I went fully plant-based around 40, but also in my late 30s I was kind of dabbling as well. I was sometimes vegetarian, sometimes vegan, and switching around my diet, kind of finding what works for me and what I can stick to, maintain, find realistic to live my life. So personally for me, I really did find that I was always trying to look for a solution in my diet and the way I was eating food. And this goes way back into probably my teenage years, and many women I know will resonate. They're trying to find the right balance of foods for their weight maintenance, for their general overall health and happiness. And it was a really long exploratory journey for me, and like I said, I did try lots of different things, and I also tried some crazy fad diets way back in the day. You know, I really did try many things like Slim Fast and Slimming World. I tried even things like the Atkins diet and just major restriction diets as well. So not that I am on a vegan diet for my weight necessarily, but I have got experience of trying lots of different things, which when I reflect now just goes to show that I was searching for something and that I didn't feel happy with the foods I was eating, clearly, because I was always changing things up. And now I feel very calm, settled, I'm in a routine, I know it's sustainable, I know that this is the way I'm going to eat now from now onwards, which is such a feeling of relief. So I would say one of the first things that I have truly experienced by being 100% vegan and plant-based is that feeling of peace and relief that I don't have to think about food so much anymore. I found what works for me, and I am very happy for this to be the way I live my life moving forward. So that's the first thing that I would say has happened, is that I don't have to think about, should I try this diet? What about that? Oh, that looks interesting, or that's working for so-and-so. I don't have any feelings of desire to change what I'm eating now. So that's huge, absolutely huge. So when I fully went vegan, there's different ways to be vegan, okay? So you can be quite junk food vegan, you can be super healthy vegan, there are things like raw vegans, all sorts of different ways that you can obviously incorporate foods into your diet as a vegan person. And certainly when I first went vegan, I would say I was more of a junky food vegan, not in the sense that I was eating loads of crisps and sweet things, but that I would buy quite a lot of pre-packaged, ready prepared foods, purely because I didn't really know what else to make, and I thought it was that substitution that I needed to do and to find. And I had younger children back then, so that worked quite well with them as well, because we really were trying to sort of swap like for like. But through the progression of my journey, I'm now not really looking to try to replicate meat foods, and I'm very happy eating the whole plant food diet instead. So I would say my diet as a vegan has changed, certainly, and as it's changed, I have noticed some considerable health benefits. So today I can happily say that my weight has stabilized. I have lost around 20 pounds, which is brilliant, because I wasn't really trying to lose those pounds, but I have lost about 20 pounds. I would perhaps like to lose a couple more pounds, but I'm not desperate about it. I'm not really overweight, and I'm fairly happy with the way things are going right now. I know how to lose some more pounds if I want to, and I'm at a stage now where I feel quite happy and content with my weight, so that's great as well. That's definitely been a bonus, because like I said, I didn't really try to lose those pounds. Another thing which I think many women will be very intrigued by and really resonate with is something that was completely unexpected, a benefit of going fully plant-based and eating a very healthy diet, was that my periods became so much more manageable. I had far less pain, I had far fewer mood swings and those feelings of tiredness and bad moods around the time of the month, and also it just became lighter as well. So these were huge benefits for me, because let's be honest, as women we've got to deal with this every single month. I had no idea that what I was eating would perhaps be affecting it so much, because I was not a majorly unhealthy person. I didn't have a terrible diet. I'm not saying that I did, and therefore this sort of change was maybe to be expected. It was a surprise, and a very lovely surprise at that. I can tell you, any woman would be very happy if they felt that those sort of symptoms were lessened, or even maybe eliminated, because when I am completely clean on my diet, completely and utterly clean, and what I mean by clean is really avoiding oils, processed foods, salts and sugars, and I'm very, very healthy and ultra aware of what I'm eating, actually these benefits are way more magnified as well, which is awesome. So I do know, and I'm very, very aware of that clear correlation between what I am eating and how I'm feeling. It is very noticeable for me. And when I start to slip down a little bit more, maybe buying ice creams, maybe having restaurant food that's cooked more with oils, maybe having a couple of glasses of wine, I can definitely tell in my body the way it behaves and functions. I can tell now, which I think is just so nice to know, because many people will never experience those benefits if they never really eliminate those foods that perhaps we're not really designed to metabolize. Another huge thing is that I feel happier now. I feel happier and I have a more stable mood generally day to day, which again, that's massive, right? That's just such a huge benefit, and again, not something that I predicted to happen, but I do feel happier in myself, which is just such a bonus. Sort of coming away from the more physical benefits that, you know, generally when people change their diet and lifestyle, they're really looking for those physical benefits almost instantly. Once you've been vegan for a little while, you start to notice other benefits that are perhaps more of a mental switch. And this has been huge for me as well. And again, something I didn't really predict to happen, but I have really changed the way I am looking at the world now. And it's again probably linked to my happiness and linked to my feelings that I would never want to change away from veganism now, because I'm seeing the world in a different way, and that I think that is having a ripple effect into my friends and family as well, which is also something I just didn't predict ever happening. But what I'm really trying to explain is that I'm seeing the world in a sense of how we are so brainwashed to just presume and accept the animal agriculture industry and all that comes along with it, and so much of that is actually hidden from us anyway. So without a bit of personal research and investigation, one would never really know what actually does happen in these farms today to allow us to eat the meat, dairy, fish and eggs on the scale that we do eat them. I'm talking you know, in the Western world, sort of generically so. But yeah, learning how everything is made and how much we are brainwashed to think it's just perfectly normal to have these things 3 times a day, maybe even including our snacks 5 times a day, but also how we don't need them. We actually don't need them in our diet, and studies and science suggests that actually by eliminating these things, these animal products from our diets, we actually are improving our health, but not just our health, it's the health of the environment. And of course, it's the well-being of animals that are subjected to those industries. So the feeling of a new worldview is the only way I can really describe it. Has been a incredible part of my vegan journey. And I think before you're vegan, or if you are still just contemplating it or looking to research about the vegan lifestyle, it can feel like, yeah, I don't know if that's really ever going to be a big thing for me. That's how I felt personally. I didn't ever imagine how much I would get involved in the vegan kind of movement, because once you learn so much about veganism and how the benefits are so widespread, they're global, it is so incentivizing to want to be vegan forever and also possibly help other people to become vegan. And that's why things like my YouTube channel started. It's why I help other people with some coaching as well, because the benefits are just so dramatic, so widespread, that it is something that I want to talk about in my own way. And coming back to kind of my first point really and tying this all together, I really feel now that this just feels right for me. And that's why I know I would never step away from veganism. There's no temptation for me to ever step away from it or to ever become part-time vegan or anything of the such. It's just not a consideration for me because it just feels right. I feel like I have found the lifestyle that just works for me and makes me feel great because I'm doing well by my body, I'm doing well by the environment and by, of course, animals as well. And it just feels like the right thing to do. And I love the food. This is really the ending of the video, to just describe to you how much I love my food. And I think for many people that are considering veganism or maybe they're part-time plant-based, there is this concern, this worry or feeling that what am I going to do when I'm tempted? What am I going to do when things are hard or difficult, or I'm out and about and I'm hungry and I need to grab something, or I'm in a social situation and it becomes awkward? And all of those problems, those perceived concerns, are actually A, very manageable, and B, they kind of melt away. In my experience, they really do, because I know that being vegan is right for me, and it's becoming more normal as well, which really, really does help. But I really do feel that when you find what is right for you and it works and it clicks, then you don't have those feelings. Temptation isn't a thing in my life. I don't ever look at someone else's food and think, oh, I used to have that, or oh, that looks really good, I wish I could have that. It's just not a concern because of how much I love my food. I've changed the way I cook. My kitchen is stocked in a completely different way to it was maybe 10 years ago. And I now know how to throw meals together really quickly that are nutritious, delicious, and to my taste, and food that I absolutely love. So there is no temptation, there is no problem with that at all. So that also makes things just so much easier. So if you're on the fence, or you're considering veganism, or you're part-time, or maybe you tried and you failed, I have got some other videos for you which might just help you. I will link them here. And also please subscribe and like this video and hit that notification bell to be notified of the next time that I upload a video, which will be every week. I've also created a free download, which will be the top pinned comment. There's a little link there, you can just click on that, and that gives you a guide really on how to become vegan within 30 days or less. It gives you 5 top tips, it gives you a vegan meal plan, and also helps you with some vegan myths that have been debunked. I will see you in the next one. Bye!